Gather around, my little ones, for it's time for a bedtime story. Come, sit on my lap and let me tell you a tale that will transport you to a world of magic and wonder. As the stars twinkle outside and the night grows darker, we'll journey together through enchanted forests, meet wise old sages, and encounter creatures both friendly and fearsome. I remember when I was a child, my grandmother would tell me stories just like this one, and they filled me with a sense of comfort and joy that stayed with me all through the night. So now it's my turn to pass on the tradition and tell you a tale that will warm your hearts and soothe your soul. Are you ready? Then let's begin our journey and see where our imagination takes us. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a magical kingdom called Ranbowland. In this kingdom, everything was bright and colourful, and the people who lived there were happy and colourful, and the people who lived there were happy and kind. One day, a group of fairies were flying over the kingdom when they noticed something strange. The colours of Ranbowland had started to fade, and the once bright and cheerful kingdom had become dull and gloomy. The fairies knew they had to do something to help, so they flew down to the castle to speak with the king and queen. They told the royal couple that they had to find the source of the problem before it was too late. The king and queen were worried about their kingdom, so they asked the fairies to help them. Together, they set off on a quest to find the source of the fading colours. After travelling through forests, over mountains and across rivers, the group finally arrived at a dark and gloomy cave. The fairies knew that this was where the problem was coming from, so they bravely entered the cave to investigate. Inside, they found a wicked witch named Grimelda, who was using her magic to steal the colours from Ranbowland. The fairies knew they had to stop her, but they also knew they couldn't do it alone. So they called upon the bravest and strongest creatures of Ranbowland to join them in the fight against Grimelda. Together, they battled the witch and her minions, using their magic and strength to defeat them. In the end, the fairies were able to return the colours to Ranbowland, and the kingdom once again became bright and cheerful. The king and queen were grateful to the fairies and their friends, and they threw a grand celebration to thank them. The fairies and creatures of Ranbowland danced and sang and celebrated their victory, and everyone was happy once again. The kingdom was full of colour and joy, and the fairies knew that they had done something important for their home. As the fairies flew back to their homes, they knew that they would always be ready to fight against any threat that came to Ranbowland. They knew that as long as they stood together and used their magic for good, they could protect their kingdom and keep it full of colour and joy forever. And with that, the fairies flew off into the night sky, leaving Ranbowland